Pranams, good morning. We're going to continue the reading of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. We are still in the chapter 25, Madhya-līlā, chapter 25. The residents of Vārāṇasī become Vaiṣṇavas. And we are in text 218. 218. That's where we left last time. Oh, Devi. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Gurudev ki Jai, Jai Ma. Shri Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhar ki Jai. Jai, 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 Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki Jai, Srila Kṛṣṇa Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai. So we're just reading, just continuing the reading. Text 218. Sekarera gore vasa, Mishra gore viksha, Mishra mukhe sune sanatane, Prabhura shiksha. While Rupa Goswami was staying at Vārāṇasī, he resided at the house of Chandrasekhara and took prasadam at the house of Tapana Mishra. In this way, he heard of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions to Sanatana Goswami in Vārāṇasī. Kasite Prabhura Charitra Suni Tinera Mukhe Sanyasire Kripa Suni Paila Boda Suke. While staying at Vārāṇasī, Rupa Goswami heard of all of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. When he heard of his deliverance of the Mayavadi sannyasis, he became very happy. Mahaprabhura upara lokera pranati dekhiya sukhi haila loka mukhe kirtana suniya. When Rupa Goswami saw that all the people of Vārāṇasī respected Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he became very happy. He even heard stories from the general populace. Dina dasa rahi rupa gaute jatra kaila, sanatana rupera ei charitra kahila. After staying in Vārāṇasī for about 10 days, Rupa Goswami returned to Bengal. In this way, I have described the activities of Rupa and Sanatana. Eta Mahaprabhu Jodi Niladri Chalila Nirjana Vana Pate Jaite Maha Sukha Paila. When Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri, he passed through the solitary forest and he received great pleasure in doing so. Sukhe Chali Aise Prabhu Balabhadra Sange Purbavat Mrigadi Sange Kaila Nana Range. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu happily returned to Jagannath Puri in the company of his servant Balabhadra Bhattacharya. As previously, the Lord performed many pleasing pastimes with the forest animals. This is Yarikanda forest. Yeah. Of course, this is already previously, but there is repeating here for our benefit. Ataranalete asi Bhattacharya Brahmane Patana Bolaila Niya Bhaktagane. When Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at a place known as Ataranala near Jagannath Puri, he sent Balabhadra Bhattacharya to call for his devotees. Suniya Bhaktera Gana Jena Punarapi Jila Dehe Prana Aile Jena Indriya Utila. Hearing news of the Lord's arrival from Balabhadra Bhattacharya, hordes of devotees became so happy that they seemed to be getting their lives back. It was as though their consciousness had returned to their bodies. Their senses also became agitated. Anande Vivala Bhakta Gana Dana Aila Narendra Asiya Sabe Prabhure Milila. Becoming overwhelmed with great pleasure, all the devotees hastily went to see the Lord. They met him on the banks of Narendra Sarovar, the celebrated lake. Puri Bharatira Prabhu, Bandi Lerna Charana, Donhe Mahaprabhure Kaila Prema Alingana. When Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati met Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord offered them his respectful obeisances due to their being godbrothers of his spiritual master. They both then embraced Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu in love and affection. Damodara Swarupa Pandita Gadadhara, Jagadananda Kashishvara Govinda Brakresvara. Devotees like Swarup Damodar, Gadadhar Pandit, Jagadananda, Kashishvara, Govinda and Brakresvara all came to meet the Lord. Kasi Mishra, Pradyumna Mishra, Pandita Damodar, Haridas Thakur, Ara Pandita Sankara. Kasi Mishra, Pradyumna Mishra, Damodar Pandit, Haridas Thakur, and Sankara Pandita also came there to meet the Lord. Ara Sava Bhakta Prabhura Charane Padila, Sava Alingiya Prabhu Premavista Haila. All the devotees also came and fell down at the Lord's lotus feet. In return, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu embraced them all with great ecstatic love. Ananda Samudra Vase Sava Bhakta Gane, Sava Lanya Chole Prabhu Jagannatha Darshane. Thus they all merged in the ocean of transcendental bliss. Then the Lord and all his devotees proceeded towards the temple of Jagannath to see the deity. Jagannatha Deki Prabhu Premavista Haila Bhakta Sange Bahu Kṛṣṇa Nitya Gita Kaila. As soon as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu saw Lord Jagannath in the temple, he was immediately overwhelmed with love and affection. He chanted and danced with his devotees for a long time. Jagannatha Sevaka Ani Mala Prasada Dila, Tulasi Padicha Asi Charana Bandila. The priest immediately brought them flower garlands and prasadam. The temple's watchman, who was named Tulasi, also came and offered his obeisances to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu Aila Grame Kolahala Haila, Sarvabhauma Ramananda Vaninata Milila. When the news spread that Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu had arrived at Jagannath Puri, devotees like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Ramananda Roy, and Vaninata Rai all came to meet him. Sabat Sange Lanya Prabhu Mishra Vasa Aila, Sarvabhauma Pandita Gosani Nimantrana Kaila. The Lord and all his devotees then went to the residence of Kasi Mishra. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Pandit Goswami also invited the Lord to dine at their homes. Prabhu Kohe, Mahaprasada Anna, Eistane, Sabasange Ihan Aji Karimu Bujane. Accepting their invitation, the Lord asked them to bring all the prasadam there so that he could eat it with his devotees. Tabe Dunhe Jagannatha Prasada Anila, Sabasange Mahaprabhu Bojana Karila. Upon receiving Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's order, both Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Pandit Goswami brought sufficient prasadam from the temple of Jagannath. The Lord then dined with everyone at his own place. Eita Kahilun Prabhu Deki Brindavana Puna Karilena Jaiche Niladri Gamana. Thus I have described how Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan. Iha Jai Shraddha Kori Karaje Sravana Achirat Paya Sei Chaitanya Charana. Whoever hears Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes with faith and love very soon attains shelter at the Lord's lotus feet. Madhyama-līlā karilun eidik darashana, Shaya Vatsara Kaila Jaiche Gamana. I have thus given a summary of the Madhya-līlā, which is a special description of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's travel to and from Jagannath Puri. Indeed, the Lord traveled to and fro continuously for 6 years. Sesh Astadasa Vatsara Nilachale Vasa Bhakta Gana Sange Kore Kirtana Vilasa. After taking sannyas at the age of 24, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu lived another 24 years. For 6 of these years, he traveled extensively throughout India, sometimes goes to Jagannath Puri and sometimes leaving. After traveling for 6 years, the Lord fixed his residence at Jagannath Puri and stayed there for the 18 remaining years of his life. During these 18 years, he mainly chanted Hare Krishna with his devotees. Madhya-līlā krama eve kori anuvada kaile haya katara aswada. I shall now chronologically recess the chapter of Madhya-līlā so that one can relish the transcendental features of these topics. Pratama Parichede Sesh Lilara Sutra Gana Tati Madhya Kona Vagera Vistara Varnana. In the first chapter, I have given a synopsis of the pastimes, Antya-līlā. Within this chapter is a vivid description of some of the pastimes of the Lord that took place towards the end of his life. Dvitiya Parichede Prabhura Pralapa Varnana Tati Madhya Nana Bhavera Dik Darashana. In the second chapter, I have described Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's talking like a crazy man. Within this chapter, it is indicated how Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu manifested his different emotional moods. Tritiya Parichede Prabhura Kahilun Sannyasi Acharyera Gore Jaiche Karila Vilasa. In the third chapter, I have described the Lord's acceptance of the renounced order and how he enjoyed his pastimes in the house of Advaita Acharya. Está muy fuerte el incienso, Madhu Krishna. ¿Puedes apagarlo cuando termines? Después que lo ofrezcas. Que no puedo respirar casi. Sorry, the incense is very strong and I can hardly breathe. Chaturte Madhava Purita. Can you open that door, please? Chaturte Madhava Purita Charitra Aswadana Gopala Stapana Ksira Churira Varnana. In the fourth chapter, I have described Madhavendra Puri's installation of the Gopal deity, as well as Gopinath stealing a pot of condensed milk and Remuna. Panchame Shakshi Gopala Charitra Varnana Nityananda Kohe Prabhu Karena Aswadana. In the fifth chapter, I have narrated the story of Shakshi Gopal. Lord Nityananda Prabhu narrated this while Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu listened. Saste Sarvabhaumera Karila Udara Saptame Tirtha Chatra Vasudeva Nistara. In the sixth chapter, I have told how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was delivered. And in the seventh chapter, I have described the Lord's tour of different holy places and his deliverance of Vasudeva. Astame Ramananda Sambhada Vistara Apane Sunila Sarva Siddhantera Sara. In the eighth chapter, I have recorded the Lord's elaborated discussion with Ramananda Roy. The Lord personally listened as Ramananda gave the conclusive essence of all Vedic literatures. Navame Kahilun Dakshina Tirtha Brahmana Dasame Kahilun Sarva Vaiṣṇava Milana. In the 9th chapter, I have described the Lord's tour of South India and the different places of pilgrimage. In the 10th chapter, I have described the meeting of all the devotees of the Lord. In the 11th chapter, I have described the great chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that surrounded the Lord. In the 12th chapter, I have given narration of the cleansing and washing of the Gundicha temple. Trayo Dasi, Rata Age Prabhura Nartana, Chatur Dase, Hera Panchami Jatra Darasana. In the 13th chapter, I have described Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing before the chariot of Jagannath. In the 14th chapter, there is an account of the Hera Panchami function. Tara Madhya Braja Devira Vavera Sravana, Sarupa Kahila Prabhu Kaila Aswadana. Also in the 14th chapter, the emotional ecstasy of the gopis was described by Swarup Damodar and tasted by Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Panchadase, Bhaktera Guna Sri Mukhe Kahila Sarvabhama Gore Bhiksha Amoga Tarila. In the 15th chapter, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu highly praised the qualities of his devotees and accepted lunch at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. At that time, he delivered Amoga. Sodase, Vrindavana, Jatre, Gouda, Deshe, Pate, Puna, Nilachale, Aila, Natta, Sala, Haite. In the 16th chapter, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu departed from Vrindavan and journeyed through Bengal. He later returned to Jagannath Puri from Kanai, Natta, Sala. Saptadase, Varna, Pate, Mathura, Gamana, Astadase, Vrindavana, Vihara, Varnana. In the 17th chapter, I have described the Lord's journey through the great forest of Jarikanda and his arrival at Mathura. In the 18th chapter, there is a description of his tour of the forest of Vrindavan. Una Vimse, Mathura Haite Prayaga Gamana, Tara Madhya Sri Rupere Shakti Sancharana. In the 19th chapter, the Lord returned to Prayag from Mathura and empowered Sri Rupa Goswami to spread devotional service. Vinsati Parichede, Sanaternera Milana, Tara Madhya Bhagavanera, Swarupa Varnana. In the 20th chapter, the Lord's meeting with Sanatana is described. The Lord described the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in depth. Ekavimse, Kṛṣṇa Varja Madhurya Varnana, Dvavimse, Dvidibdha Sadhana Bhaktira Vivarana. In the 21st chapter, there is a description of Krishna's beauty and opulence. And in the 22nd chapter, there is a description of the twofold discharge of devotional service. Trayo Vimse, Prema Bhakti Rasera Katana, Chatur Vimse, Atma Rama, Slokarta, Banana. You know what that means? Atma Rama, in the 24. In the 23rd chapter, there is a description of the mellows of transcendental loving service, and in the 24th chapter, the Lord analyzes the Atmarama verse, which is what we read before. Pancha Vimse, Kasi Basire Vaiṣṇava Karana, Kasi Haite Puna Nila Chale Agamana. In the 25th chapter, there is a description of how the residents of Vārāṇasī were converted to Vaiṣṇavism. The Lord also returned to Nilachala, Jagannath Puri from Vārāṇasī. Panchavimsati Parichede Eika Kailun Anubada Jahara Sravane Haya Grantarta Aswada. I have thus summarized these pastimes in the 25th chapter. Hearing this, one can understand the whole purport of this scripture. Sangshepe kahilun ei Madhya-līlara sara, koti grante varnana na jaya ihara vistara. I have now summarized the entire subject matter of the Madhya-līlā. These pastimes cannot be described elaborately, even in millions of books. Jiva nistarite Prabhu Brahmila deshe deshe, apane aswadi bhakti karila prakashe. To deliver all fallen souls, the Lord traveled from country to country. He personally tasted the transcendental pleasure of devotional service, and he simultaneously spread the cult of devotion everywhere. Kṛṣṇa tattva, Bhakti tattva, Prema tattva sara, Bhava tattva, Rasa tattva, Lila tattva ara. Kṛṣṇa consciousness means understanding the truth of Kṛṣṇa, the truth of devotional service, the truth of love of Godhead, the truth of emotional ecstasy, the truth of transcendental mellow, and the truth of the pastimes of the Lord. Sri Bhagavata Tattva Rasa Karila Prachare, Kṛṣṇa Tulya Bhagavata Jana Ila Samsare. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu has personally preached the transcendental truth and mellows of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical, for Srimad Bhagavatam is the sound incarnation of Sri Kṛṣṇa. Bhakta lagi vistarila apana vadane, kahan bhakta mukel kahai sunila apane. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu broadcast the purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam. He sometimes spoke for the benefit of his devotees and sometimes empowered one of his devotees to speak while he listened. Śrī Caitanya Sama Ara, Kripalu Badanya, Bhakta Vatsala Na Deki, Trijagate Anya. All sane men within these three worlds certainly accept the conclusion that no one is more merciful and magnanimous than Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and that no one is as kind to his devotees. Shraddha Kori Ei Lila Suna Bhakta Gana Ihara Prasade Paiva Chaitanya Charana. All devotees should hear about Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes with faith and love. By the grace of the Lord, one can thus attain shelter at his lotus feet. And we can read one last verse. Ihara prasade paiva Kṛṣṇa tattva sara, sarva sastra siddhantera ihan paiva para. By understanding the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, one can understand the truth about Kṛṣṇa. By understanding Kṛṣṇa, one can understand the limit of all knowledge described in various revealed scriptures.
There's only a few more verses left. There's only a few more verses left.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe we can finish this whole Madhya-līlā, chapter 25 then. Kṛṣṇa-līlā amrita sara, tara sata sata dara. Dasa dike vahe jaha haite, se Caitanya lila haya, sarovara aksaya, manuhamsa charaha tahate. The pastimes of Lord Kṛṣṇa are the essence of all nectar. They flow in hundreds of rivulets and in all directions. The pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu are an eternal reservoir, and one is advised to let his mind swim like a swan on this transcendental lake. Bhakta Gana Suna Mora Danya Vachana Toma Savara Pada Duli Ange Vibhusana Kori Kichumuni Karon Nivedana. With all humility, I submit myself to the lotus feet of all you devotees, taking the dust from your feet as my bodily ornaments. Now, my dear devotees, please hear one thing more from me. Krishna Bhakti Siddhanta Gana, Jate Prafula Padmavana, Tara Madhu Kori Aswadana, Prema Rasa Kumuda Vane, Prapulita Ratridine, Tate Charao Manu, Bringa Gana. Devotional service to Krishna is exactly like a pleasing, jubilant forest of lotus flowers, wherein there is an ample honey. I request everyone to taste this honey. If all the mental speculators bring the bees of their minds into this forest of lotus flowers and jubilantly enjoy ecstatic love of Krishna day and night, their mental speculation will be completely transcendental satisfied. Nana Vavera Bhakta Jana, Hamsa Chakravaka Gana, Jate Sabe Karena Vihara, Krishna Keli, Sumri Nala, Jaha Pai Sarvakala, Bhakta Hamsa Karaje Ahara. The devotees who have a relationship with Krishna are like the swans and Chakravaka birds that play in the forest of lotus flowers. The buds of those lotus flowers are the pastimes of Krishna, and they are edibles for the swan-like devotees. Lord Sri Krishna is always engaged in his transcendental pastimes. Therefore, the devotees following in the footsteps of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu can always eat those lotus buds, for they are the pastimes of the Lord. Sei Sarobare Gija Hamsa Chakravaka Hanya Sadatahan Karaha Vilasa Kandibe Sakala Dukha Paiva Parama Sukha Anajase Habe Premo Lasa. All the devotees of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu should go to that lake and remain always under the shelter of the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Become swans and Chakravaka birds in those celestial waters. They should go on rendering service to Lord Sri Krishna and enjoy life perpetually. In this way, all miseries will be diminished. The devotees will attain great happiness, and there will be jubilant love of God. Amrita Anukshana Sadhu Mahanta Mega Gana Visbo Dhyane Kore Varisana Tate Fale Amrita Fala Bhakta Khaya Nirantara Tara Seshe Jive Jaga Jana. The devotees who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu take the responsibility for distributing nectarian devotional service all over the world. They are like clouds pouring water on the ground that nourishes the fruit of love of Godhead in this world. The devotees eat that fruit to their heart's content, and whatever remnants they leave are eaten by the general populace. Thus they live happily. Caitanya-līlā Amrita Pura, Krishna-līlā Sukha Pura, Duhe Mili Haya Sumadurja, Sadhu Guru Prasade, Taha Jai Aswade, Sei Jane Madurja Prachurja. The pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu are full of nectar, and the pastimes of Lord Krishna are like camphor. When one mixes these, they taste very sweet. By the mercy of the pure devotees, whoever tastes them can understand the depth of that sweetness. There is quite a few more. Je Lila Amrita Vine, Kaya Jodi Anapane, Tabe Bhaktera Durbala Jivana, Jara Eka Bindu Pane, Ut Pulilta Tanu Mane, Hase Gaya Karaye Nartana. Men become strong and stout by eating sufficient grains, but the devotee who simply eats ordinary grains but does not taste the transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna gradually becomes weak and falls down from the transcendental position. However, if one drinks but a drop of the nectar of Krishna's pastimes, his body and mind begin to bloom, and he begins to laugh, sing, and dance. Ekka bindu, one drop. Ei amrita kara panya, jara sama nahi anna, chite kori sudridha visvasa, napada kutarka garte, amedia karkasha avarte, jate padile haya sarva nasa. The readers should relish this wonderful nectar because nothing compares to it. Keeping their faith firmly fixed within their minds, they should be careful not to fall into the pit of false arguments or the whirlpools of unfortunate situations. If one falls into such position, he is finished. Śrī Caitanya Nityananda, Advaitadi Bhakta Vrinda, Arajata Srota Bhakta Gana, Toma Savara Sri Charana, Kori Sire Vibhushana, Jaha Haite Avista Purana. In conclusion, I submit to Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, and all the other devotees and readers that I accept your lotus feet as the helmet on my head. In this way, all my purposes will be served. Sri Rupa Sanatana Raghunatha Jiva Charana, Sire Dwari, Jara Karon Asa, Kṛṣṇa Lilambritanvita, Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Kohe Kichu Dina Kṛṣṇa Dasa. Taking the feet of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Jiva Goswami on my head, I always desire their mercy. Thus, I, Kṛṣṇa Das, humbly try to describe the nectar of the pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, which are mixed with the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Shriman Madan Gopala Govinda Deva Tustaye Caitanyar Pitam Ast Etak Caitanya-caritāmṛtam. For the satisfaction of Sri Madan Gopal and Govinda Deva, we pray that this book, Caitanya-caritāmṛta, may be offered to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tat idam ati rahasyam gaura lilamritam jat kala samudaya kolair nadritam tair alavyam satir ijam iha ka me swaditam jat samantat saridaya sumanovir modam esam tanoti. The Caitanya-caritāmṛta's pastimes of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu constitute a very secret literature. It is the life and soul of all the devotees. Those who are not fit to relish this literature, who are envious like hogs and pigs, will certainly not adore it. However, this will not harm my attempt. These pastimes of Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu will certainly please all saintly people who have clear hearts. They will certainly enjoy it. We wish that this will enhance their enjoyment more and more. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā 25th chapter, describing how the inhabitants of Vārāṇasī were converted to Vaiṣṇavism. And this is the end of the Madhya-līlā. So this is the end of the Madhya-līlā. Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai. Śrīla Kṛṣṇa Das Kavirājas Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Śrīla S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Prabhu, please, Didi, please sing for us Hari Haraya Nama Krishna.
Okay. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Saparikara Shri Guru Gauranga Sundara Bhagavad Jai. Jai Pasla Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Pasla Lokakshira Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Pasla Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nirmala Gurga ki Jai. Nama Acharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Shri SCSMath ki Jai. Shri SCSMath London chapter ki Jai. Shri SCSMath Acharya Vrinda ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Maharaj ki Jai. And our Vārāṇasī pronounce all the